No Meat Monday presents Pumpkin Pasta, as written by Sarah Kramer of the infamous vegan cookbooks. This is garnished with cheese, and this is without, except that it's blurry. I apologize. There'll be pictures at the end. Alright, let's get started! Hey you guys, Beth Brutality here with
John 1313.
Today we are going to make pumpkin pasta, as is written by the lovely Sarah Kramer in her book La Dulce Vegan. If you guys have never gotten this book and you're vegan, this is the third in her series. The first two were co-written by, I believe her name is Tanya Bernard, possibly. But the first two were The Garden of Vegan and How It All Began. And this one is the third one, and this one is meant to be the La Dulce Vegan is meant to be vegan living made easy. So this is like the easier cookbook. So it kind of shows, like, there are some... Are you getting burnt?
No, it's right here.
Oh. There are some more difficult and time-consuming recipes in here, but they're marked. So this book's pretty cool. This is really good if you're a vegan or vegan and you're just looking for some easier things to do. And pumpkin pasta calls for enough dry pasta for 2 people, 1 medium onion chopped, 1 cup of veggie sausage sliced, 1 tablespoon of olive oil, 1 14-ounce can of unsweetened pumpkin puree, a half a teaspoon of salt, a half a teaspoon of ground black pepper, a quarter to a half cup of vegetable stock, which is optional, and we're going to skip that because I don't have any right now, and a half a cup of vegan cheese, grated, also optional. I'm going to put that on mine, but not on his. He hates vegan cheese. So we already have our water on boiling, and we're going to go ahead and chop up all of our stuff and get it ready, and we'll come back and show you it because I feel like you guys don't really need me to show you how to slice and dice an onion every single time you record one of these. Okay, so we'll be right back with our ingredients. Okay, so as you can see, my water is boiling, and John's done prepping the onions. You didn't have to do that. So I have them in the pan. The oil is now getting hot. So we're also going to add 1 cup of sliced sausage. And you cook those until the onions are translucent. So you guys already know what that means. Well, you might know what that means. This is boiling now. It says to use enough pasta for 2 people. I measure my pasta by handfuls, which is completely inaccurate and horrible for other people. But I just, however much 2 servings of pasta is for you and your significant other, or you and yourself if you aren't making this for anyone else. So this is why it's super important that you wash your hands every time you cook. Especially those of you who do cook with meat. Make sure you're washing your hands like constantly throughout the process because you're going to be cross-contaminating things. So I just lost some onions there. But we're going to saute this food. And so that's sauteing, and this is cooking now, and then when the onions are translucent, we'll start adding more ingredients, so we'll be back then. Okay, so the next step is to add your pumpkin puree and to add your salt and pepper. So I have a giant can here. You're only adding 14 ounces. This is 29 ounces, so I'm just going to add about half of the can, and then I'm going to add half a teaspoon of salt and pepper. So we're just going to scoop that in various places. If you have pumpkin around your house and you want to use fresh pumpkin puree, I'm sure it would taste a bajillion times better. But I have pumpkins around, but they're John's. I don't think he really wants me to kill them. Alright, so that's about 14 ounces of pumpkin puree. I gotta put the rest of this away. And then we're just gonna add our salt and pepper. So I'm using sea salt. You're adding, like, I think it's a half a teaspoon of salt. I'm just going to eyeball it. Because really, how do you measure a half a teaspoon of salt? Come on.
A half teaspoon spoon?
Shut up. Make a couple of passes with your grinder, and that should be about a half a teaspoon. Then a half a teaspoon of pepper. Again, just going to eyeball it. We might end up adding some other spices because John likes everything really spicy. And as you can see, our pasta is still cooking back here. I probably need to bring that back up to more of a boil, kind of simmered down. But I'll probably end up adding some more spices. But now you're just going to mix this together and, what does it say? And let it simmer for 5 to 7 minutes. And if the sauce gets too thick, you can add vegetable stock. That's what the vegetable stock is for. Which, again, don't have it, so I'll probably just end up adding a little bit of water. So, yeah. Stir it in there, let it get all warm, and simmer for 5 to 7 minutes. Alright, so our pasta is done, so I'm going to drain it. I'm going to return to the stove, and we're going to combine the noodles and the sauce. So, hold that thought. Okay, so we're just combining everything from the, what is this?
Pan.
Pan? Everything from the pan into the saucepan with the noodles that have been drained. And then we're going to mix it all together, and then you serve it immediately and top it with whatever garnish you're going to. I am possibly going to try green goddess dressing, but I think the most likely tender for me is going to be vegan cheese. I'm not sure what John is going to top his with. As you can see, it is bright orange and delicious and pumpkin-y.
You can tell them about the other spices.
We added in some other spices. Thanks to John for reminding me to tell you guys. I just dropped a noodle. Damn. We also added in, so altogether we had salts, black pepper, white pepper, red cayenne pepper, cumin, and smoked paprika. And just in various amounts to taste. I would suggest trying something like this. And we also added in a little bit of soy sauce. You could add in some soy sauce in place of the salt, or in addition to. We did in addition to. So we are just going to, it's all mixed up now, so we're going to serve it out into a couple of bowls, garnish it, and I'll take some pictures of it. So I hope you guys will try this recipe. This is definitely one that you have to like pumpkin to try, but I love pumpkin, so pumpkin's delicious, and it's not just for pie. It is tasty and all sorts of things. So I kind of want to look into making a curried pumpkin recipe. I think that would be tasty. Alright, I will see you guys in a few seconds in some pictures. Bye!
Bye.